Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna teach you how to make a simple web page using JavaScript, CSS, and we're gonna do it by fetching some informations from an API. Uh, we will list some users and their details, and for each users we'll have a button to get to his website, and we'll have a picture. We'll do that with responsive cards and using fetch and async from JavaScript. So let's get started. The whole design will be responsive. Okay, so we'll start by doing some HTML. The name of the page is gonna be users. Okay, we're going to include the CSS. That's about it. And we're gonna put at the end of the body the script. Index.js. Okay, that should be it. Let's start with the body. We're gonna have an h1. The title is users, and we'll have also we're gonna make a sort. We're gonna sort the users alphabetically, default, and ascending by name and descending by name. You're gonna see it's pretty simple. So we're gonna have a div. The class name will be sort. The label for users will say choose sorting, and then we're gonna have the select for the options. Name will be users and the ID will be sort. Okay. And we're gonna say it like this: option 1, the value will be ascending, and we'll say ascending by name. Let's just copy this and replace it. 3 options. It's gonna be descending, and this one right here is gonna be default. Okay, and this is gonna have a property selected, will be selected by default. That means our first choice will be this one right here, and descending. Okay, I think that's all done. Let's skip to the JavaScript part. So you're gonna actually note this because I have it. The user API from where we're going to fetch the information is this link right here, and photos API for the users will be right this one, and we're gonna make two functions, one to get the users and one to get the photos. So we're gonna say constant get users photos. This will be an async function. And here comes the tricky part. We're going to need an ID of the user, which we will get from the user API. So in order to get the photo from the user, we're gonna need the ID from the user API endpoint. And we're going to say response, what's coming, the plus ID. Get it? It's already slash right here. We're just going to add the ID. And we're gonna return. Actually, we're gonna wait a response, which will gonna convert to JSON. That's one. The second one, get users. It's an async function as well, because today we have to use async, which is correct, which is code correct. Let's say constant response. We could actually use the response. The difference between let and constant is that we cannot change the constant, and let can be changed. Okay, await fetch from user API, and we're gonna return the promise response.json. Okay, and now we're gonna say something like this. We're gonna make a function which will be named display images, which will insert our images into the HTML. So let's say var images equal to document dot. Actually, let's create the code first. Let's delete this. Let's say the card document that create element. It's gonna be a div. Okay. Card that class list dot add. We're gonna give it a class main, and then we're gonna insert into it our code. So let's say display users, which will receive as a parameter users. Card dot inner HTML. Let's start with an unordered list. Will be something like this. Cards, okay. Plus users.map. We're going to get into the users, and we're gonna display for each user, sorry, the card separately. So let's say for each user we're gonna do this return right here. start with this. Li class will be card item. Let's say, for example, okay, and plus. Again, div and class will be card. Something like this. Plus another div. We're gonna make a lot of divs around here for the card content and so on, and the card image. This one is gonna be the card image div. Here we're gonna display the image. Say card. Add like this. I forgot a single quote. The card image. Okay. And close tag. Actual image. This will populate later, the link of the image and the ID. Plus user dot ID plus, actually here just a single one. Okay, double quotes, delete this one right here. Bam, 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 come on. And closing quotes right here. This should be the card image. Okay. And now we're gonna add the div for the content. And something like this. Class will be content plus, and let's say an h2 tag, which will be the card title. Closing tag plus. Say the name of the user. I already know the way that the JSON looks. It looks something like username, user address, city, geolatitude, street and suit, zip code, company, and so on. Okay, name should be something like this. Plus user.name. Let's close those tags. H2 plus. Let's get the street number, which will be a paragraph. Which will be card text. Closing tag plus street plus ending paragraph. Okay. And we're gonna add two more paragraphs with user email and user phone. Let's copy these ones right here. and phone. Actually, let's add one more with username. Let's say here, come on, email, phone, and a username. And I said we're gonna add a link, a button, and or a link to the user's website, and should be something like this. Plus HTTP plus user.website plus, and we're going to use this double quotes right here, class equals to button okay, data ID equals to this, and user.id plus ending quotes here, here. And that should be it. Plus website, name of the link, plus ending quotes on A. Something like this. Okay. Now let's close the divs. One right here, and actually let's just copy this. Come on. Okay. And close that unordered list, I guess. Okay. And now I think we're good. And here the famous join. And closing the unordered list. If you don't do this join at the end, it will insert commas between the cards, and you don't want that. Okay. After we did this miracle right here, I'm gonna say document dot body dot append the card, and we're done so far. And now after this one